sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony. Surrender into the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind, it'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. Ooh. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Today, we take another big step, together. Today, we are graduating. Today, we are celebrating all that we have learned in middle school. Today, we are becoming high school students. Congratulations to my classmates, the class of 2013.
Families and friends, this is one of those days where we adults can take a moment to reflect, feeling good as a parent, a teacher, a mentor, knowing that the kids we believe in and care about are doing well and are on the right path to a bright and successful future. These kids are our future, and from what I know about them, our future looks pretty bright. Margaret Stoops.
Everyone has that one subject that you just can't connect to. The one where you find yourself daydreaming, doodling, and talking to your neighbors when you should be paying attention. And of course it ends up being the class where you have a final exam worth half of your grade. It catches you completely off guard, so the night before the test you start thinking, well, maybe I need to study for this. It sounds kind of important. So you think about it for a long while, until you come to the rational conclusion that the season finale of Modern Family far surpasses the importance of your final exam. So you get up the next morning and you take your test, but you don't feel too great about it, so it's no surprise a week later when you're parked at your kitchen table holding your marked up test, along with a well thought out explanation for your parents, usually including a typical excuse like, "My teacher hates me." You had the choice to take responsibility for your actions, but you did what most of us would have done in that situation. You took the easy way out. Letting someone else deal with your mess just seems so much simpler. This is a reoccurring trend in adolescence. We find it difficult to take responsibility for our actions because we haven't tried it enough to be comfortable with it. Everyone says that growing up is about the choices you are faced with. Today, we are graduating from middle school and moving on to high school, a place where we will be faced with more opportunities to make mistakes. So maybe as we age and mature, we should start to think about the choices we are faced with when we make a mistake. That means that we shouldn't try to pawn our mistakes on other people, because we owe it to ourselves to take responsibility for the choices we make. Mistakes make us who we are. It's as simple as that. Knowing this, we can choose how our mistakes define us. Society will always judge you by your mistakes. That will never change. But our generation has the power to build a society where people judge you in a different way. Because our current reality is that making a mistake is a bad thing to do. But if we take a chance on ourselves and learn how to be confident in our choices, we can influence others to do the same. I'm not saying this is easy. I know how hard it is. I'm saying the more we practice taking responsibility, the easier it will become to take chances. We have to dream big today and be willing to fall tomorrow. Because if we have the ability to become who we are by taking a risk, why would anyone want to miss out on an opportunity like that? Thank you. Please welcome Zack Glenn.
Both scared and excited is what I felt on the first day of my middle school career. But now, I'm at the end and I realize how fun middle school actually was. The whole middle school experience, I think, is like riding a roller coaster for the first time. 6th grade was a transition year. 6th grade is when you first get a glimpse of what middle school is really like. The transition between classes, several different teachers, and even the size of the campus can look kind of overwhelming. Although it can seem kind of scary, making new friends, getting good grades, and even lunch are all very exciting things to look forward to in middle school. 6th grade is when you're waiting in line for the roller coaster you've never been on. You're scared because it looks super fast and high, but also you're excited for the thrill. 7th grade is not the best year of middle school. The work increases as well as the projects. Big projects such as History Day and the Shakespeare play can be overwhelming. 7th grade is when you're at the top of the coaster and about to go down. This part of the ride makes the rest of the ride seem terrifying. 8th grade is the rest of the ride. As you're on your way down, you realize it's not so bad at all. 8th grade is the best year of middle school. We were able to go to the beach for a nice vacation, do the best science experiments, and also learn the American Revolution. But now, we're at the end of our journey, and I'm kind of disappointed. Because even though some of this roller coaster ride was frightening, we're actually hungry for more and want to ride it again and again. However, the next ride, high school, I hear is even more of a monster. Thank you. Please welcome Kerry Taylor.
I am standing before you now, an 8th grade graduate, and I know what you are expecting. I am supposed to summarize what we have learned in these 3 years and somehow predict how this will help us in the future. But the truth is, how can we possibly know what will happen, say, 30 years from now? How can we fully appreciate our time at Mill Valley Middle School when we only just said goodbye? All right, let's use our imaginations for a second. Let's say it's the year 2043. I have come back to MVMS because my oldest daughter is graduating from 8th grade. Since I graduated, I've become a famous author, and so they've invited me to give a short speech to honor my old middle school. They wanted Ben Guggenheim, but he's too busy with his duties as President of the United States to make it. They want me to say something nice about my 3 years here. In the 30 years since I graduated, a lot has happened. Much more than I would have ever expected. The funny thing is, there was a reoccurring theme behind all of it. It's a lesson I'm sure all of you have heard before. There are bad things and there are good things. Mistakes happen. We learn from mistakes. Every misfortunate event has a silver lining. Quite a commonly said lesson, but a true one. I read a funny poster in my eye doctor's office when I was about 11. It was titled, "Everything I Need to Know I learned in kindergarten. The list of life lessons was long. Always share, take a nap every day, cold milk and warm cookies are good for you, and so on. While these lessons are obviously important, I would like to edit the title just a little bit. How about most of what I need to know I learned in kindergarten? The one important thing kindergarten does not teach us is how to learn from our mistakes and how to pull through a challenge. What was the biggest challenge you faced in kindergarten? What was the biggest mistake you made? Maybe you accidentally spilled paint all over your table mate's drawing? It's a little different when the mistake is a failed test, a forgotten homework assignment, or, God save you, a terribly messy history notebook. These mistakes can make you feel panicked, terrified, or regretful. Let's face it, elementary school was somewhat of a breeze. All we had to do was try, and we got the grades. Middle school was different. We still had to try, but we had to try hard. We had to work and push to become the students we wanted to be. We faced all sorts of challenges. Science projects became much more than baking soda and vinegar. Math decided to get friendly with the alphabet. There was a whole army of vocabulary words we had never heard of. It is for these reasons that we feared middle school. It is for these reasons that we now respect it. And through all our strife, we found things to enjoy. Maybe chemistry wasn't our thing, but we took interest in physics. Maybe we found friends in our hardest classes, bonding over our work and our determination to succeed. Some of us found our voices, whether it be from a Bill of Rights speech, a Midsummer Night's Dream, or a great year in chorus. We all found so many things. Now, 30 years later, we've all found our place in this world. Salem Davern's multi-platinum album just won a Grammy. Zack Glenn has earned 4 gold medals as an Olympic swimmer. But no matter where we are now, or what we've become, we've all faced challenges. And this is why I'd like to thank middle school for teaching us how to carry on. It is the most important thing we've learned so far.
Hans Glader. Zachary Glenn. Connor Glynn. Kira Goking. Julian Goldfarb. Emma Steinberg. Margaret Stoops. Riley Stray. Talia Sutton. Carrie Taylor. Bridget Tong. Adrian DeSaris. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to give you the class of 2013.